this is a bit of a different video, huh? I guess it's not that much different than the rest of them, but this one's about the whole year, you know? Usually I make little month videos. I don't remember if I made one this year. I think I did, but I don't remember what month it was. Or it wasn't a month video. It was like more of a life update, which is kind of what this is too. But I guess a little bit less refined than the month videos, even though those ended up being not too refined by the end of the run. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the whole year and how it sort of affected me, I guess. It's been a great year. From the start, I guess I should mention that this was my first year freelancing 100%, full-time, on my own, no other job, no school hindering me, just me doing my thing, I guess. And it wasn't the best, you know. It was a struggle. There were harder parts of this year. Mainly financial struggle than anything else, right? You know, being my first year only freelancing, and I definitely dropped out of the workforce really early. Usually people wait until they're making more than their actual job, you know, just on the weekends, and then they switch and they get off, and then they do it full time. I was kind of banking on the idea that I would have more time, and because I would have more time, I would have more opportunity to make something really good. I would have more time to dedicate chasing leads and filming and maybe doing content and, you know, all the stuff that I said I would have more time to do because I wouldn't be tired from work, because if I worked one day, I just thought maybe I wouldn't be able to do any of that. And plus the job I had wasn't that great, and I saved a lot of money, and I thought that would sail me through 2 years worth, even if I didn't have any gigs, and that wasn't true. It sailed me about 4 months tops. So, and that was with really unlucky circumstances. A drive I had corrupted a couple businesses that I sort of tried getting to do my taxes, and signing for an LLC and stuff like that weren't ideal, right? So, and truly that's more on my stupidity than anything else, but we don't need to get into that. Yeah, this year was really rough. I think this has been the hardest year for me. I mean, despite, you'd think not going to a job every day and like all that would be great, but realistically, the lack of stability was really hard to cope with. It was really hard to, know where I was going to be a month from now, whatever. Every new month sort of had its own challenges, and it was tough. Like, I'm probably going to look back on this year as like the year I fought for my life, you know? It's kind of a scary thought, a little bit, considering every year people have this thing where it's like, it was my best year, my worst year. I had my ups and downs, and I've said this too. I'm pretty sure every single post I've said says that everybody says that, but every year it's true. Like, I'm thinking about 2023, and it's this nightmare of a year. It's this difficult battle where I'm struggling just to survive and like follow my dream, right? Slowly watching my dream crumble in front of me. I said at the beginning of this year when I recorded a video, or maybe it was last December, how difficult things were looking. And that was right when I started. It only got harder. It only got more perilous. It only got harder and harder to cope with everything. I've been thinking about quitting videography as a whole, not just my business. And I've been thinking about quitting my business, but I've had multiple instances this year where the thing I made, whether it be for me or for somebody else, wasn't up to par with my standards or with their standards. And I raised myself up quite a bit. I like to think that I'm really good at what I do because I see the people around me and I see their peers and I think, okay, so I'm above average at this stuff. But then when I go out and I try to do something professionally, or I try to do something, that's legitimate, it doesn't fit the standard. Even these videos, right? A lot of the time I set up a shot, and right now I'm self-conscious, but I set up a shot and then like the focus is off and the whole thing is ruined, or like, the audio cuts out. I've always been this way. I had a reputation when we were starting creating content of like fucking it up completely, and they're like irreparably. This happens all the time. It's just been who I am as a person, because like, not even with this, maybe with, drums or something like that too. It's like, I get to a point where I'm really good, but I'm not great. And then there's this mental block that I can't seem to get past. There's a part where I have to think too much and my brain overloads and it impedes my progress. I get to a point and I never get better. I feel like I want to say that I don't get better, but I look at the progress between now and maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You can see the progress, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting better. It feels like I always knew this stuff, and it just so happens that I have better resources. And that's how I feel with the art, with my business, with everything I tend to pursue. And it's really hard to think about. I don't know.
But it wasn't all bad, there was some good stuff too. I really enjoyed a lot of this year. Just in a general recap, things like gigs that I had at the beginning of the year. I've been working for a podcast since the beginning of the year, and they've been really nice to me. I got to film my own ad, my own music video. Of course, these were spec projects, but they were still a lot of fun to do, and I learned a lot doing them. Yeah, I met a lot of new friends, a lot of new people. I got really close with my film friends this year because of the spec ad that I shot, as well as doing the 48-hour film challenge. That was a lot of fun. Got to really bond with this like group of people that I've sort of been friends with. But now we're like really tight, and it's really cool. Now, I went to VCTs, the Valorant Championships, and I got to film for them, which was great. Or not for Valor, but like for one of the companies where the team was, which was really exciting. And, just even being there was really cool. Even if it wasn't for work, right? Valorant was a big part of my life like a year or two ago.
Sorry if you hear all this background noise. There's like ducks
and like leaf blowers, and I'm at a park that I enjoy coming to for filming. Probably bad for sound filming, but you know. This section is gonna be everything that made me happy this year, which surprisingly was a lot. The main two things being that I spent a lot of time with my friends and out working, which is kind of interesting because, you know, I've said it a million times, but friends and like hanging out with people makes me kind of remember everything that I've always wanted, especially in school and stuff. I wasn't the most socially active or anything, and I really missed out a lot on like childhood friendships and things like that. And I've really been making up for it these last couple years. Around 2018, I started slowly getting out of my shell and amassing these friend groups, be it from work, from college, or reconnecting with friends and making friends of friends. It's been a process, but this year really felt like it peaked more than other years. Not just either going out and like partying or hanging out casually in person, but like even hanging out at nighttime, playing video games or anything like that has been really, really nice, and I did it a lot this year. As for work, I feel like I spent a lot of time this year getting gigs and like going out and filming a bunch of different interesting things, which is kind of what I've been leading up to. On top of all that, just being at this park, I've been here a couple times to film B-roll, and like this is my go-to place for lens tests because there's a ton of ducks and things, wildlife, squirrels, birds. But you know, coming places alone and filming is something I really enjoy, and I feel like I'm going to be doing it a lot more next year. And I think I did it a lot this year. I had a lot of gigs where I was just having to walk around and film places too, but you know, coming places like this on my own time and filming and like, you know, sitting with myself is something I also enjoy. Solitude is something that I thought was like the wave from my childhood pretty much into my early stages of adulthood. And I don't do it as much these days. I spend a lot of time with people or, you know, trying to be with people. But days like today, where I'm just here out in the wild, I like it a lot.
A lot of this year was documented, actually, surprisingly. At the beginning of the year, I meant to do a, 1 second of every day of the year challenge. And then I sort of quit around March. And I might have deleted some of those thinking I wasn't going to use them, but I still have some of them. I'm just going to put them on the screen playing, I guess.
New Year. Or something. Pretty cool.
That's like not funny.
Nobody asked. Huge. Yeah.
Seconds, and then
Fuck you, Leon.
they just keep going.
Three different productions.
Not for.
Land of the free. And that was part of my year. Maybe a first chunk. I don't know. It got sort of a hassle to pick out my phone and like record a second of every day. It was kind of annoying, and I couldn't deal. But I ended up having a lot of like behind the scenes footage from the other shoots that I had, and it sort of supplemented it all out. We did a lot this year, and I think that it being recorded was enough. And also, me and my friend, Cinos, I don't know, but we streamed an entire Pokemon game this year. Start to finish, it was a race, which was really cool. I used to race with my brothers in games all the time, but it was fun doing it with him. And it was the first time since we ever started YouTube that we actually played a game start to finish together, like actually. Not even just on YouTube, but in real life. Like, we don't do that very often. So it was just this really interesting experience that it's like, it kind of came full circle. It's just been a really good year. And I think the memories that I made this year are going to be very solid in my mind. And I hope that next year could be, I think I said the same exact thing, but I hope that next year is even like half of this year, because this year was really incredible. And it was full of memories. It's just, we took so many photos this year, and it was just like, it was a year that was made to have memories. I think it was put together so well, and it was great. I loved every second of it.
This one's about the future. Goals for next year. Goals for next year are kind of interesting because I feel like my goals for the last 2-3 years have been pretty consistently the same. Succeeding in business, making money, having fun with friends, trying to travel if I can. I might not be able to because of the money situation. I feel like the main goal ever since I was 19, right? Ever since I first picked up a camera, the goal has been to make memories. Memories are something that feel very treasured to me. The idea of nostalgia and remembering who I am right now and who I'm going to be next year. They all feel like these super important things to me. I like remembering who I was during certain points of time, certain periods of my life. If I could make a scrapbook or a little memory book of every year, which is kind of what these videos have been, I would be really happy, because I like seeing who I was, seeing who I am present day, and knowing that I'm growing every year. Because you don't see your growth, right? You're with yourself every day. You don't notice when you gain weight or you gain muscle. You don't notice when you change your perspective on something. You don't notice the way you talk or anything because you're with yourself 24/7. But, seeing who you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you look at that footage, you look at those photos and you think, wow, right? Like, that's who I was. That's crazy. Like, I can't even imagine being that person today. The goal for next year, as it has been every year, is to make new memories, maybe make some new friends, go somewhere new, and enjoy it. Because I know that I've enjoyed this year, despite all its ups and downs. And I know that I'm going to enjoy next year, even if it kills me. Hello. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi in the post-credit scene? Oh, you're just gonna play with Bat? Hold on. I hope you have a great 2024. I might see you again. Probably. I don't know what content I'm gonna be making, but I hope you stick around. And I hope I stick around too. Say bye. Let you go. I know you want to look at that.